はい、どうぞ。
Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for joining today also. Today's lecture is a continuation of last month, and last month I explained about the very famous the private academies in Edo, especially at the beginning of the Edo period and also the middle of the Edo period. But today's the lecture is about the Kangi-en. That is also the private academies operated by Hirose Tanso, who was a Confucianist in the Kyushu, Oita, Hita, Oita Prefecture. And today, October 20th, and so before I go into the explanation about the Kangi-en, I, as usual, I would like to briefly explain about the outline of the private academies, the series of lectures in these several months. Okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna skip this and also So the last time I explained about the Toju Shoin operated by the Nakae Toju, who was the saint of Omi. He lived in the beginning of the Edo, and the second one was the Kogido operated by the Ito Jinsai, who was also the Confucianist. Confucians lived in Osaka area. And also, I could not explain about the Baien Juku by the Miura Baien, who lived in also Oita, same with Hirose Tanso. But today I would like to explain about the Hirose Tanso's Kangi-en. And okay, here is again the chart explaining about the two graphs. Upper graphs explain about the populations, especially during the Edo era, and also the bottoms of the graph is showed the numbers of the private academies, or in other words, shijuku in Edo era. So as the population increased, the number of the shijuku also increased. And but most of the majority of the shijuku was established at the end of the Edo era, after the Kansei reforms. And also today I also added another the graphs. Upper graph is the same with the last slide. Explaining about the increase of the number of shijuku, and the bottom graph shows the numbers of the book publishing during the Edo era.
Book publishing.
So the last slide I contrasted between population and the number of shijuku, but this one is also a contrast between the number of shijuku and also the number of the published books in the Edo era. So as you see in the graph at the bottom, the increase of the number of the publishing already started before the Edo. But during the Edo era, the numbers gradually increased, and at the end of the Edo, the rough numbers of the published book was more than the 10 millions.
10 million?
Yes. So this fact, only this fact is also the some kind of shocking and amazing things. So such kind of the such kind of tendency tells us is during the Edo era, through the Edo era, the people's lives became the very peace and also stable, And as such kind of a phenomena are going on, the people's interest moved from very the essential things for their lives to the intellectual things. So not only the samurai class, but also other the commoners like farmers, merchants, they also had a strong interest about the information or knowledges to make their life better in any aspect. And but so if we look into the qualitative aspect of the those phenomena about the book publishings, at the end of the era, some portion of those books included the textbook for the private academies and also the terakoya or tenarais. So that's why the drastic increase of the numbers of private academies and also terakoya shijuku synchronized with the also increase of the publishing of the book at the end of the Edo era. So this truth is also very interesting. And okay, I'm gonna skip. I also explained about the roughly speaking, there are two major the milestones or big event which accelerate the increasing of numbers of shijuku. One is the Genroku period, and also another one is the Kansei reforms at the end of the 18th centuries. And these are also the numbers and also of the private academies, shijuku, and also terakoya, and goko. Goko is also the schools in the local province or rural areas, and also the Han schools operated by each the local samurai.
What does Goko mean?
Goko is also the kind of a civilian schools operated by the peoples in a
Kind of
local
local university.
kind of a local university, yes. And okay, I'm going to skip also. And
You explained before.
yes, I already explained. So that now so today's topics Kangien. So I would like to start from those three numbers. So please imagine what those the numbers.
This presentation is like a TED presentation.
Right. I try to be to attract more people's interest. So we have three numbers here: 4,080 and 17 million. So numbers.
What do you mean 17 million, 156 million dollar?
I already showed the answers on the right hand side, but 4,000 means the student numbers of the student who learned in the Tanso's Kangien. And also
only Kangien.
Only Kangien.
Great.
Yes. And also 80 means
Yes.
the Kangien last about 80 years.
Wow, great.
80 years.
So long.
And also the yearly revenue of these private academies was about the 17 million yen per year.
This means like a terakoya?
Not the terakoya.
Not terakoya.
Terakoya. After the terakoya.
Oh.
Not the goko. Private academies. So even we look at those three numbers, we can see how the Kangien was somehow the great, impressive the private school at the end of the Edo era. So and also let's